Hi again. I just got done reacting to Sunday, and apparently Sunday and some of his friends made a game, which I tried out. I want to make a video on that game later today or tomorrow. But anyway, I reacted to that video earlier, but now I'm reacting to what if Yoda turned Darth Vader back to Anakin. So basically, what if Yoda did what Luke did, but no, it's Yoda turning Darth Vader back to Skywalker. The chat be in the description below. You want to check it out. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And let's see what if Yoda did turn Vader back to Skywalker.
What if Yoda was the one to save Darth Vader? That is our story for today. Hope you guys enjoy this one. I enjoyed it. I don't do many original trilogy videos, but when I do, I try to take full advantage of it. Our story begins on Mustafar, inside of Darth Vader's castle, as the feared Dark Lord of the Sith is in his bacta tank, meditating. As Vader is here, he does not feel like the feared Dark Lord of the Sith. Instead, for the first time in a long time, he feels like Anakin Skywalker. He knows that he must let this feeling go, but something is just tugging at him. It's Luke. It has only been a few days since Bespin, where Vader found and confronted Luke, his son, and asked him to join him. Vader had to watch as his own son looked him in the eyes and jumped to what could have been his death. No one should have survived that fall, but Vader could feel that Luke was alive. And now that Vader knew Luke was alive, it was like a remnant of Anakin was reborn. He must kill it. And as Vader meditated, he felt a new presence approaching, and his personal aide entered the room, telling Vader that the Emperor approached. This was strange. Usually, Sidious gave Vader a heads up, so Vader had time to prepare all of the troopers in the castle. But not today. Vader had a bad feeling about this, so he got out of his tank and into his suit, then kneeled outside the castle hangar as the Emperor's shuttle arrived. Sidious stepped out with his royal guards right behind him, and he walked slowly to Vader with a scowl on his face. And Vader knew he was right. Something was wrong. Sidious told Vader that he was disappointed in him. He had the young Skywalker boy in his grasp, and security cameras from Cloud City showed that Vader could have grabbed Luke with the Force as he fell. But he didn't. Vader didn't know what to say, but Sidious said that he fears Vader has grown weak. Perhaps it is time that he be replaced. And Sidious shot Vader with lightning, sending him crashing into the far wall. Vader felt the lightning on whatever skin he still had left. It penetrated through his armor, and Vader knew now it was either he escape or he die. He always knew this was a possibility, so he designed a few contingencies, including an escape trapdoor. So as Sidious shot another burst of lightning, Vader rolled away, landing on the trapdoor, and he fell through the castle into a small pit of lava, which his suit could survive. Vader crushed the trapdoor path, then began moving to hide away. And inside the castle, Sidious scowled, getting back into his shuttle. He flew away, then ordered for his Star Destroyer to destroy the castle, leave none of it standing. And so, as Vader was moving to hide under the castle, Palpatine's Star Destroyer fired down on it, destroying the castle completely. Vader tried to get away, but the huge blasts sent him flying. Vader screamed out, feeling his suit be ripped apart, and everything went dark. Elsewhere in the galaxy, on one of the ships of the rebellion, Luke Skywalker began having dreams of sorts. As he slept, Darth Vader came to him, telling Luke that he was right. There is still good in him, and he wants to join Luke. In this dream, Vader told Luke to go to Tempest. There is a temple there, and Vader will still be waiting for him. When Luke awoke from these dreams, he was extremely hesitant. Something was just so off about all of this. It didn't feel like Vader. But Luke knew this was a chance that he must take. Deep down, he did know the truth. Vader was his father, and he could sense that there was good in Vader. So before everyone else woke up on this ship, Luke snuck away and left for Tempest. Something was calling to him, and even if not Vader, he must find what it is. So he entered hyperspace, determined to bring his father back. And on Mustafar, Vader was lying in the hot coals, with a lava river flowing just underneath him. His suit was torn apart, and he was left for dead by his master. And Vader knew now that he must live. He must find Luke before Palpatine does. So he reached up, clawing his way up the lava bank,
Fight
and eventually
your way,
standing
Lord
and
Vader.
stumbling to a hidden away ship. For years, Vader had kept one true piece of Anakin on Mustafar, his Jedi starfighter, and whenever Vader was having doubts, he would work on this starfighter, modifying it to fit him should he ever need to discreetly escape. And today was that day. So Vader got into the ship and took off for the Mustafar moon. Inside of the now abandoned Inquisitorius building, he still had a place to repair his suit and heal in a Bacta tank, for now. On Tempest, Luke Skywalker landed his ship outside of the temple and began walking towards it. He could hear whispers and feel the dark side all around him. He wished he had his lightsaber, but he assumed that this dark feeling was Vader. So Luke entered the temple, and the door was slammed shut behind him. Suddenly, an evil laughter rang out from all around, and Sidious told Luke he was just as foolish as his father. And lightning sprayed out from the corner, slamming Luke into the wall, and he was knocked out cold. Sidious walked up to him, and his guards grabbed him. He would be kept in a prison to turn to the dark side or die in due time. Back in space, Vader was repaired, and he punched in the coordinates for Lothal. He had to get to a Jedi temple to try and connect with Luke. So Vader took off and spent the hyperspace trip wondering who he was. Anakin Skywalker was weak. Vader had destroyed him. But now Sidious had tried to kill Vader. He thought Vader was dead. Maybe Sidious was right. But Vader snapped out of it. Anakin was gone. He would find Luke, turn him to the dark side, and they would kill Palpatine together as Sith.
No.
On Lothal, Vader would land at the Jedi Temple, which was now stuck into the ground. It could only be unlocked with the lights out of the Force, and so Vader decided, for just this moment, to free Anakin from deep inside of him. He reached his hand out, calling upon the memories, the light, the heart of Anakin, and Vader began to use the Force to open the temple. After around an hour, Vader did it, and he walked inside. The temple was full of peace, joy, serenity. Vader hated all of it, but he needed to find Luke, so he sat in the center of the temple and meditated, trying to find him. But Vader's call was not felt by Luke. Instead, it traveled to a swampy planet, hidden deep in space, Dagobah. This call from Vader was felt by Yoda, and immediately Yoda knew it was Vader. Anakin. Either way, it was him. Yoda opened his eyes, trying to shut himself off from this feeling. His mission was to train Luke to defeat Vader in due time. The boy Obi-Wan trained is gone. Any remnant of Anakin inside of Vader is not real, Yoda told himself. But as he tried to deny it, the voice of Qui-Gon rang in Yoda's head, saying that he is the chosen one. Yoda shook his head, poking his stick to the ground in frustration, then decided he would speak to Vader.
Come on, Ad.
Cleans better with fewer sheets. Charmin Ultra Strong.
In the Lothal Temple, Vader was getting impatient and was about to leave when he felt a presence behind him. Vader turned and saw Yoda? The Jedi Grandmaster was sitting on a log, faintly smiling at Vader. Vader didn't want this. He ignited his red saber. He held resentment for Yoda. He could have helped Anakin, stopped everything, but he was too stuck in his ways. So Vader looked at him and said, "Look how old you've become." And Yoda softly chuckled, saying that something far worse has happened to Vader. Yoda asked Vader what it was he was looking for, and Vader wanted to just leave or try to strike down Yoda. But he knew Yoda could help. So Vader said that he fears the Emperor has found a new way to lure Luke in and capture him. Yoda said that he too could feel this in the Force. Young Skywalker is in danger. He's in need of Anakin Skywalker, his father. Vader hesitated, but Yoda was right. It was time for Vader to die, and for Anakin to return. So he knelt in front of Yoda, asking him to help bring Anakin back. So Yoda would call Vader to Dagobah, and from there, a new training would commence. Vader would train himself to let go of the darkness for a few weeks, understanding that the Emperor betrayed him, just as the Sith always do. Vader would come to understand that the dark side is truly unnatural. It is not the way for him, and in order to save Luke, he must be in the light side. Because if he goes to save Luke, the Emperor will be able to feel Vader in the Force, but he will not be expecting Anakin. If Vader can rid himself of the dark side, the Emperor may not sense him approaching. So Vader worked tirelessly to rid himself of the darkness, and when it was finally done, he knew he must now find the rebellion. Yoda taught Anakin to search his feelings, and he will know where to find those he seeks. So Vader did this, and he had his answer. the auction of Han Solo. Vader asked Yoda to come with him, but Yoda said his fighting days are long gone. With Anakin redeemed and Luke ready to be a Jedi, his time may be up. Anakin respected this and said goodbye, thanking Yoda. On the planet Jakara, Leia Organa, Lando Calrissian, and Chewbacca were hidden in attendance for the auction of Solo. The crime syndicate Crimson Dawn had stolen the frozen carbonite Han Solo from Boba Fett, and they were now auctioning him off to the most dangerous people around the galaxy. This auction was being
Lord
hosted by
Vader.
Lady Kira of Crimson Dawn, and in attendance
Your
was Jabba the
time.
Hutt, the Black Sun, Sly Moore of the Galactic Empire, and many smugglers including Dr. Aphra. Leia, Lando, and Chewbacca were hidden on one side, while Vader was hidden on the other side of the auction, waiting for their opportunity to try and steal Solo away. The auction would begin. Many bids would be placed, but ultimately Jabba would win Solo, and he would soon begin moving back to his ship with his many guards. As Jabba and his people were trying to leave, they were ambushed by Chewbacca, Leia, and Lando trying to rescue Solo. The three of them moved in on Jabba after taking out his guards, but Jabba expected this, and so he had guards hidden all around, who now surrounded Leia, Chewie, and Lando. The three of them were forced to drop their blasters, and the guards moved to capture them, but suddenly all of them were lifted off their feet and thrown off of a nearby cliff. Jabba looked with surprise to the cliffside to see Vader, his cape billowing in the wind, and he ignited a white, purified lightsaber, telling Jabba to hand Solo to the rebels or suffer the same fate. Jabba wanted to resist, but it simply was not worth it, so he handed Solo to the rebels and began to leave, saying that because of this, Tatooine must now be left alone by the rebellion in exchange for Solo. This was fine for them, and soon, Vader was alone with Leia, Chewie, Lando, and Han. Chewbacca lifted his blaster to fire on Vader, but Leia told him to wait, then asked Vader what he wanted. She just had a feeling of sorts that they were not in danger, and Vader said that he wants to help. He has come to realize that his place is not with the Empire. His place is helping his son, Luke. Leia, Lando, and Chewie all looked at each other, putting down their blasters, asking if Vader knew where Luke was. He'd gone missing a few weeks ago, very mysteriously. Vader said he does know. There is a prison in wild space that the Emperor will have brought him to, and he can bring them there. Lando said this has to be a trap, but Leia said they are out of options. But first, she disabled the carbon freezing for Han, and he was soon freed from it, falling to the ground. He couldn't see at all, and he was beginning to panic, but Vader assured him that his vision would return soon. Han looked up, sarcastically saying that he was glad to hear Vader's voice of everyone. Leia and him would catch up a bit, and Han would soon learn that
come
Vader
on.
was, apparently, on their side. Han's eyes would soon begin to clear up, and Vader said that in order to find Luke, they will need an excellent pilot. So in unison, both Vader and Solo said they will fly, and there was a bit of an awkward silence. Deep down, Vader knew he was the better pilot. Han, sarcastically again though, said that he once shot down a group of TIE fighters, chasing down Luke Skywalker so that Luke could blow up the Death Star. Vader silently respected how Han didn't seem to fear him at all, or was just putting up a wall of sarcasm, and Vader said they will both fly. This could actually work out better. Vader will fly into the main hangar and find Luke, while Han can take Leia, Chewie, and Lando to an emergency hatch, blow up the station from the inside. Vader said that they must trust that he will get Luke to them before the prison blows up, and it will be a big blow to the Empire. So after some discussion, Han would agree to do it, and the five of them would walk to their ships.
Palpatine would not have-
Vader got into the Jedi Starfighter and nodded to the rebels. He couldn't really believe he was in this position, but he wanted nothing more than to save Luke from suffering the same way he has suffered under the Emperor's rule. The two ships would rise, and Vader sent the coordinates to the Falcon, and they both jumped to hyperspace to rescue Luke. In space,
Skywalker.
orbiting the prison above Baccarat in wild space, countless TIE fighters were orbiting the area, when one of them got a reading of two ships emerging from hyperspace. So the TIE fighters would line up, preparing to face these two ships, two against an entire fleet of TIEs. Good luck to them. And in moments, Vader and Solo, at the helm of the Falcon and the Jedi fighter, would find themselves facing a huge swarm of TIE fighters. Han called to Vader and said that he forgot to mention this part of the mission. Vader replied back that it should be no problem for someone of Han's expertise. Han grunted, looking to Leia, Chewie, and Lando, telling them to strap in. and as the sea of TIE fighters closed in around them, Han and Vader kicked their ships into full force, ready for the fight. Vader's elite flying skills, honed through years of wars and from the Force itself, worked perfectly with Han's own daring moves and his excellent knowledge of the Falcon. Together, the two of them would form an improbable but formidable duo through space. The TIE fighters swarmed around the Falcon, their blaster bolts peppering its hull. Han's hands moved across the controls, with Chewie by his side, evading incoming fire, while Vader was able to get behind the TIEs attacking Han, taking them down, one by one. With each passing moment, the odds seemed insurmountable, yet Vader and Han remained focused, not caring about the odds. Han spun through the air,
Don't
flying
tell me
past
the
a new
odds.
group of TIEs, then slammed the Falcon into reverse, firing at them head-on. Vader was surrounded again, but drawing upon the Force, he sensed an error in the TIE fighter's formation. He communicated this to Han, and the Falcon got next to Vader's ship. As if reading each other's thoughts, Han veered the Falcon into a dive, luring the TIE fighters into a deadly game of cat and mouse. And with Vader providing cover fire from above, Han weaved through the chaotic space. His skills pushed to their limits, but he didn't want to be outdone by Vader. Both saw this as a bit of a competition while they were working together.
Come on, really?
Blaster fire erupted from the
Yeah.
Falcon's turrets, punching through the ranks of TIE fighters,
A
as
veteran
Leia
of
and
the
Lando
Clone
helped
War
guide
with
Han
his
through it
solo.
all. And after fighting through countless TIEs, the two ships flipped around each other, and Vader and Han coordinated their final assault. Vader cut a path through the TIE fighters with its perfect precision, while Han unleashed a barrage of firepower from the Falcon's cannons, creating an explosion that made it seem like the Falcon exploded with it as well. So in a blaze of fire, the last of the TIE fighters fell, scattering debris floating in space, as Han discreetly landed on the side of the prison, while Vader landed in the main hangar. The Falcon was thought to have been destroyed, and so troopers poured into the main hangar, firing at Vader, but he ignited his lightsaber, fighting through all of them, making his way to the prison cells. Vader continued pushing through Imperial security, and finally found Luke inside of a cell. Luke stood up, exclaiming excitement to see his father, but quickly told Vader he must go. Palpatine is here. Vader was shocked to hear this, but from around the corner came Palpatine, hands outstretched, and he fired lightning which Vader blocked with his saber. Palpatine was here trying to turn Luke to the dark side. And now, Vader freed Luke, throwing him a blue saber, Obi-Wan's saber, and Luke ignited it. Father and son now faced down the Emperor. Sidious laughed, saying he was truly surprised to see Vader was alive, as he did not sense him approaching. Anakin said that Vader is dead. That name no longer has any meaning to him, and now Sidious will die. Sidious turned to Luke, telling him it is not too late. Join him, be the heir to his power, or die pointlessly with his father. Luke looked to his father, then to Sidious, and said that he is a Jedi, like his father. Sidious knew that he could beat these two quite easily, so he raised his hands to fire more lightning. But before he could fire it, the entire prison rocked and began to shake. Alarms began to blare, and Sidious was sent
Time to go.
flying through the air. Vader had been anticipating this. Han, Leia, Lando, and Chewie managed to get into the prison and destroy the internal engines. This battle station was going to blow, and this caught Sidious completely off guard, so as he flew from his feet, Vader told Luke to follow his lead, and the two of them reached out, slamming Sidious with a force push. The Sith Lord flew through the air, slamming into a window and flying through it, being sent into open space and dying immediately from suffocation.
Bye, Palp.
The blast doors sealed, and Vader and Luke began running through the prison as it was being ripped apart from the inside. Chewbacca had actually managed to get to an emergency switch and free all of the Imperial prisoners inside, including many Wookiees, so now all of them were running to the hangar, stealing Imperial ships to escape in. As Vader and Luke reached the hangar, the station shook again and began to truly explode. They were the last non-Imperials remaining, and the fire soon reached the hangar, threatening to consume them. Vader looked out of the hangar door, and he saw the Millennium Falcon fly to it. So Vader told Luke that the Force is with him, then grabbed Luke with the Force, and pushed him to the Falcon hangar. Leia and Lando managed to grab Luke as he flew to them. The group of rebels looked to Vader. Han gave him a nod. Luke wanted to help him, but it was too late. The Falcon took off as the prison went up in flames, and Vader went with it. And now as Vader floated through space, unconscious, he was awoken by lights from a ship. His suit kept him alive in space, and Vader saw the Jedi Starfighter being flown by R2-D2 as it came to him and picked him up. R2 left the Falcon and took this ship, expecting Anakin to sacrifice himself. Anakin
Yeah.
said it was great to see R2. and the two of them would leave together. A few months later, on the planet Ossus, R2 contacted Luke to come here, and Luke would then find Anakin and R2 waiting for him. After the prison explosion, Anakin decided to go into hiding until the Empire was taken down, and the rebellion had done it with Luke and Leia leading the way. He had to stay hidden, as the galaxy would, rightfully, not want him to be alive. And so now, Anakin would guide Luke into creating a new Jedi Order here on Ossus. As Luke went to explore the area, beyond happy to see R2 and his father, the ghosts of Yoda, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan looked on with genuine happiness. And folks, that is our story for today. I hope you guys liked that one. I really did. You know, it's hard to do a Vader redemption story without really focusing on, you know, that everyone's gotta hate him and he's just gotta kind of be arrested. So I decided not to take that path and instead just have Vader turn and just focus on the fun aspects of it. I've done a few stories where, you know, Vader turns and no one works with him. I don't know. I really wanted to just do it and have him focus on the group of rebels that we all know. So, in this story, it's very, very focused in on just this small group. The New Republic ultimately would be formed, but we're just focused in on Vader and the main rebel group that we all know. So, I enjoyed that. I really, really liked writing the scene of Vader and Han flying together. I haven't wrote about Han that much, I guess, because I just haven't done that much original trilogy, but it was really cool for me doing a Han and Vader dynamic. I thought that was fun. Their personalities, you know, could go together in a weird way. And this was, in a way, Yoda saving Vader from, you know, just bringing him back to being Anakin. I always think that's an interesting concept. What if Vader did go to Dagobah? I was going to do this originally. Like, what if Vader found Yoda while he was still a Sith, just with full intent to kill Yoda on Dagobah? But decided to take this path as I just had a much more fun idea for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know Luke wasn't in much of it as he was captured, but that was kind of the whole point of the story, getting Vader to turn. So appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Member giveaway video coming out very shortly. Become a member if you want for just $4 a month. Exclusive content, early thumbnails. And yeah, thanks. I'll see you in the next video.
Quaker, a bowl of good for everyone.
Go on, ads go. There you go. Nice to have that. I think he would make a video on that. What if Vader just killed Yoda? That might be an upcoming video he might do. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I just saw my phone has 15% battery, so I gotta make this quite short. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I'll put the channel in the description below. And don't forget to check out my playlist for more of my other reactions too. And yeah, bye for now, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye for now, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.